Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how I made this two-piece mixed fabric crop top, and I use Ankara fabric and plain fabric. You can use crepe fabric for both the plain and also the pattern fabric. If you're interested in seeing how I made this beautiful crop top, please watch this video to the end. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And now let us get into making this beautiful mixed two-piece crop top. To make this top, you need just a little bit of fabric. It can be flowery fabric, or it can even be cotton or Ankara. And then you need a plain fabric like this. It can be any color also. And this one, just a little piece is okay, like quarter of a yard. But for this one, you need between a yard and a half, depending on how big you are. Okay, let's get right into it. So the first thing you need to do is you need to bring these two together. So this is my two fabric together. I've put them right side facing each other and I have them down. And this is for the front. The first thing you want to do is get your top line like I have here. And then I'm going to measure half an inch on this side. This is where we'll be joining both fabrics together to make them look like one piece. I've marked out my half an inch here, which I'm going to join to make my front piece, right? The next thing I'm going to do is measure my neckline, and I'm going to use the width of 3 inches. I'll be using 3 inches for the width and 4 inches or 4.5, depending on how wide you want the neck depth to be. So I'll be using 4 inches for the neck depth, and I'll be joining this together with my curve. The next thing we'll do is impute our shoulder measurement. If you look here, I have my measurement. I have my shoulder, my bust, my length, and then what my armhole will be. Okay, so I'm going to measure my shoulder measurement, and my shoulder measurement is 8.25. I'll start from this half an inch line that I have made here. I'll measure my shoulder, and on that shoulder point, I'll come down by 1 inch. And then connect this 1 inch point to my neckline point. Now from this 1 inch point, I'm going to come down by my armhole measurement. And my armhole measurement is 8.5, but I'm going to use 9 inches because I want this to be a little bit loose. I'll mark 9 inches here. And then I'll come on this point and measure what I measured up here for my shoulder measurement, which is 8.25. I'll start from this 0.25 mark that I have here. This is just so that I can get a straight line, and I'll connect from this my 1 inch point to this point here. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'll measure from this point to this my armhole point and get the midpoint, which is 4.5, and at that midpoint I'll come in by 0.5 inch. That's half an inch, right? Now on this my 9 inches, which I'm using as my armhole, I'm going to measure my bust measurement divided by 4, and I'll mark it. My bust measurement divided by 4 is 11 inches. Remember, we are starting all our measurement from this 0.5 inch point here. Measure 11 inches from here, and I'll mark. Now, because this is a crop top, it's going to be free, I'll be adding, you can add between 1 to 1.5 inch as is allowance, but I'll be adding 1.5 inch. And then I'll join. Now I'm going to connect from this point to this 0.5 inch that I have here all the way to this part. After getting my armhole curve, I'm going to be adding my sewing allowance, which is 1 inch. I'll add it from here. Remember, the first 1.5 inch that we added is ease. You can use 1 inch for your ease, or even 0.5, depending on how free or how fitted you want this to be. Now I'll measure all the way from this 0.5 inch here to this point and see how many I have here. So I have 13.75 here, right? Now the length of my top, I want it to be 24 inches, right? You can make yours whatever length you want, but from this point right here, 24 inches, and I'll add 1 inch for my hemming allowance. I want it to be a bit big. Okay, after that, I remember when we measured here from this point to the 0.5 inch, we got 13.75. I'm going to come down on this part here and impute that same 13.75. So it's a crop top, it's also a box top, and I'll just connect all the lines. So this is for the front, and the next thing we'll do is cut this out and cut out the back for it. So after cutting, this is what it looks. This is what it looks like on the other side where the fabric is. I went ahead and I pinned it in the middle where we'll be joining later. And this is what it looks when we open it. And this is a complete bodice for the front. And while cutting also for the front, I went ahead and added 1/2 inch to my shoulder and 1/2 inch joining allowance to my armhole, so that I can join my sleeve without losing any of my measurement. Now let's go ahead and cut the back. The back, I have my fabric on fold and I've gone to measure my top line. Now you can decide to put a zipper on this if you want, but I'll not be putting a zipper on this. What I'll be doing on the front is I'll be having a facing and a little bit of opening in front so that my head can go through the front. But if you want to use a zipper, please leave 1 inch or 1/2 inch here. So I went ahead and I cut out my facing for the front, and this is what it looks like. And my facing is 2.5 inches wide by 5 inches for the length. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to join the facing, turn the facing for the front, and then join this 1/2 inch all the way to the bottom. And then for the back, I also cut out my facing. So we're going to join the facing to the back like this, and then turn the neckline for the back and the front. So guys, after I was done turning the neckline, this is what it looks like in front for the neck, and this is what it looks like at the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it this way and put it right side facing right side. So you can decide to join it like this on the shoulder, or you can decide to use the facing to fold it all the way around like I'm going to do, and I'm going to pin this side, this shoulder, do the same thing on this other shoulder, take it to my sewing machine and sew it. So after I was done joining the shoulder, this is what it looked like. I went ahead and I pressed it open. What I did was I folded this part inwards. I'm going to also run a stitch on this side. So what we're going to do next is we're going to attach our sleeve to the bodice. All right guys, I'm going ahead to add to sew my sleeve in, and this is what it's looking like. The next thing we're going to do is to flip this to the wrong side and then bring this together and the sides together, and we're going to join from the sleeve all the way to the bottom. We'll do the same thing for this other side too. And also on the hem, remember when we were taking this making this, we left 1 inch for the hemming allowance. I'll also fold in 1 inch on the hem and sew it all the way round, and then we'll be back with the final result. Sewing the side and hemming the top, and I was done with everything. This is what it looks like. This is so nice. It is so beginner friendly, so easy to replicate and make. Please let me know if you enjoyed watching this tutorial. If you are yet to subscribe, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.